What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. So as promised, I did say on Monday, not Wednesday, I almost said Wednesday, on Monday that I would do an update to my Iron Man, as I've been playing him for the past couple of weeks again. Finally, I kind of took a little bit of break off of him, but I've been back to him since, and I made a few little bits of progress, and I have a couple of goals in mind. So I figured I'd start off by introducing you guys to the Iron Man if you guys have not already met it, and also telling you guys some of the goals that we were actually currently going for, because I remember a while back I had planned out goals, but I wasn't in any shape or form to be able to actually try to take up those goals. I was still in the progress of obviously making my account how I wanted it to be, and getting the needed items and equipment and whatnot to start working on certain goals. So finally we're at a point where we can start going towards some of the bigger goals instead of obtaining dragon longswords and obtaining full rune and little stuff like that. Now we're on to bigger and better things, which we'll get into later on. But starting off, I guess we should probably start with the stats, I suppose. Currently we have 74 attack with 70 strength and defense. Those are going up as I train Slayer, which is currently at 70 as well, which with 22k till 71. I may be able to get that later on tonight. After the video I will be playing on my Iron Man, so I will probably get that. Along with that 71 HP and 41 prayer. Prayer is slowly going up with the ghost task because I have the ectoplasmator thing there that buries the essence or whatever it does there. It gives you prayer XP, and that was some items I had disappearing. If you noticed that, don't worry about those. I believe they're royal capes. I didn't need them anymore. Range and magic are 42 for magic, 36 for range. Currently going up whenever I get time, or if there's a Slayer task that's low enough and I want to do them with mage or range, I will take out a bow or a staff and start doing tasks with that. Generally speaking, I will be training that most likely on different monsters. I don't know about through Slayer, but I have a couple of ideas where I can train it after I'm done with Slayer, which I probably won't get into in this video, but that'll be another topic. As for my actual skills, resource skills and whatnot, they're minimal. They've not exactly been worked on. 39 herb lore, which I've been kind of working on. I have an herb lore tab you'll see in a little bit that I've been doing a little bit with. The crafting is 40, which I do need to get up so I can start making some more range armor when I do start ranging. Rune crafting is 56 because I believe I AFK'd that when I first made the account and didn't know what to do really, so I kind of stuck myself there. Farming is 11. I believe it was 11 for Guam seeds, if I'm remembering correctly. And that's why I had it, so I could start farming herbs. But they're really slow XP, and I haven't done it for a while. So that's kind of sat there. Woodcutting, fire making, kind of useless. Woodcutting's alright if I get into fletching, but I will eventually, obviously. I have to get into all the skills eventually. And then fishing 67 with cooking 68 because I need food. Mining, smithing, kind of low because I haven't really been doing much of those. I will get into skilling eventually, but for the time being I'm mainly combat, obviously, with the 70 Slayer and 74 attack. Currently going for 75 actually. I will most likely stop at 75 and then get the attack, strength, defense to a nice rounded 75 each and see what that brings me in terms of Slayer level. I'm assuming that'll probably bring me midway through 75, midway through 70, so probably about 75 to 77 right on that general area, and then we'll see where we stand on the account and what type of items we have. I'll get into the goals, obviously. Why I'm stopping at 75 would be the next question, but we'll talk about that later, hopefully. Getting into the bank, because my stats are kind of just that. They're just stats. First tab has been a junk tab forever. For those of you guys who have seen it before, it's just been nothing. I have one of each clue scroll. I have an easy, medium, hard, and elite, and I've never done any of them on my account yet. The elite was actually from a Barrows run, was quite funny. The hard was from something of a Slayer task, I forget. The medium as well, and the easy, I think I pickpocketed. I have a Slayer ring in here, it should be in here. I actually bought the ability to make those, and I don't know, oh no, I do have the crafting level. I didn't have the crafting level at one point, and I think I had to actually... Wait, did I buy those? I don't know if I bought the ability to make it or not yet. I really should if I haven't. And I might need the crafting level. And I thought I had, like, these are rune knives I don't need. I should high out those. Two tasks I've been keeping so I can put onto the loot pass and obviously use them at the crystal chest and get D-stones and rune stuff and change that dragonstone armor. If that's really going to be useful in Iron Man. Probably not, considering I'm members. Rainbow fish should probably be in here because it's rainbow fish. And it's just basically a bunch of junk. So... next tab is my combat tab, I guess you'd call it. where we have my runes and my armors and my weapons and whatever you have in here. Barrows, totems, whatnot, because I have been doing some Barrows runs. And there we have a Carol's crossbow, and we have an Aram's book. Both useless, because you saw what my range and magic level were currently. Yeah, they're not going up anywhere. I'd need I'd like rather, a Guthan spear would be ideal, but I'd settle for a flail or a Dork's axe, or that's the only ones I can really settle for, ain't it? Yeah, or whatever else I could. Yeah, I don't. Torag's hammers. I don't even know if I want those, to be honest. But I'd settle for anything else besides the 2 combat styles I'm not currently using. Maybe I'll get one eventually. Maybe I'll do some barrow runs later. But yeah, I've been doing some barrows runs, so that's where those came from, and obviously the barrows totems, and a lot of these death runes, which I have quite a few of. And I probably should just sell them, because I don't think they're really going to be used for anything. Same with the blood runes. Some bolt racks and royal bolts for when I do. I will eventually get a royal crossbow. That's later on. That's not my current plans, but later I will get a royal crossbow from scratch, obviously, because it's an Iron Man. We got some carapace, which is range armor. And then we have our Mystic, which is our, let's see, range? Range for this, mage for that, if I said that incorrectly. And I did get a Dragon Plate Leg drop, which was quite nice, so that's now part of my melee setup, which is Rune Plate and Dragon Plate, because I'm looking awesome. Dragon Longswords, dual wielded, because we don't have anything better at the moment, because Barrows is being bad to us. Leaf Blade Spears for the Turath tasks, and Mithril Arrows for training range, and you see what I got in here. I don't know why there's pineapples, but there is. Going to the Herbalo tab, we have some prayer potions, which I don't have any use for yet. I'm going to actually keep those for when I start doing Godward's Dungeon. I don't want to be too low on supplies when I first start off, and I know for a fact I'm going to be, because that's just how I go. I go unprepared. Energy potions, I was just making random potions, basically, just to try to use up some herbs, and now I've since stopped and kind of been stockpiling some stuff up. Unfinished potions and whatnot, and things that need to be cleaned. I don't know why I have a seed tab when I have seeds in there, but I do. That's kind of weird. Gems, I've been getting a lot of sapphires. I haven't actually made any of these because I can't. I want to make these into games necklaces, these into dual rings, and these are going to be turned into skilling necklaces, I believe. And then the diamonds I'm going to end up probably making into 4 and 3 bracelets, so I can go into the 4 and 3 dungeon, which would be for the Revenants, which is in the wilderness. If you guys don't know, they drop the ancient armors, which is the Vesta, Stadius, and Corrupt Dragon stuff, and I'll do a series on that eventually with this account. That's a bit of a spoiler. That was what I was going to be talking about today, but that'll be a bit of a spoiler for you guys who are interested in that. These stones actually were from the Crystal Keys. Obviously, I've had a few so far, and those are what I've gotten from them. Dehides are from Slayer tasks, and these carapaces are from just killing the cockroaches, I believe. Flask was from Slayer task, and I believe one was an RDT job. I've been spending those for a little bit of crafting XP. I probably should continue to do that. Smithing tab, not much to see here really. A couple of rune bars from RDT drops, and I think, and then maybe not. I don't know where those came from. Those might have been RDT. And Addy bars from something. I don't know where those even came from either. And a bunch of other ores from random drops around the game. And a couple of rocks which should be in here, because that's where I have all my rocks. And I really should cash those in. This is a log and fish tab, apparently. I really gotta organize this. This is really a mess. But this is a tab that is useless, and that is summoning. So, yeah, these are just random tabs. I need to really sort my bank out a bit more. I mean, for the time being, it's fine. When I start getting into more of the series and such, I think it'll be a little bit more organized. We need to have some more swordfish, too. I don't know why that's down there. But, yeah. So in terms of actually making progress on the account and where I want the account to go, for those guys who do not know, I used to stream series on Twitch that would involve getting all drops from certain monsters, and I'd love to do it again, but this time with my Iron Man. And I'm just going to have my Iron Man sit here because I have nothing else to do. So I want to start doing those series, but actually on the Iron Man. I'm going to zoom right in. There you go. It's got the Mohawk. So that's what my stats are going towards, and for the time being I want to eventually start doing barrows runs kind of efficiently. At the moment I am meleeing them, which is not the best. I probably should be maging them, but melee it's been working out. It hasn't been terrible. It's been going, but I think I should be maging them. But my one thing I want to get from barrows, I don't want to do a barrow series as of yet. I'd love to do a Barrow series once I have like 90 stacks. So just hammer through them all, like 90 defense, 90 magic, and just go right through them all. But what I really want to do is get into God War's Dungeon and start doing my God War series again. Mainly because obviously the armor will help me dramatically in any situation as an Iron Man. And I find God War's Dungeon kind of fun, and it should be a bit of a challenge, obviously, with the Iron Man as well. But that's my first goal. So what my plan is to attempt to somehow manage to get a melee weapon from Barrows, and then we'll use that melee weapon, whatever it be. God, I hope it's like a spear or something. Whatever it may be, we'll use that weapon to go to God Wars and possibly start our God Wars series. Now, obviously, by that time, I'm hoping to have at least 80 plus stats and attack, strength, defense, and be going to God Wars with semi-decent gear. That's the idea anyways. But that would be the plan as of now, to basically start getting into God Wars Dungeon. So that's kind of what I'm getting towards. So every bit of stats leveled up and whatnot will be going towards the God Wars Dungeon. So I probably won't be doing much skilling except for fishing and cooking. And then the Slayer grind, I'm going to continue on training with Slayer, because obviously I'd like my Slayer to kind of stay in par with my combat stats, because as my main was, I never wanted my main to be high level and then have like 30 Slayer. I always felt like that was unnecessary and just a waste of time when you had to go back and do Slayer. So I kind of leveled up with my stats in a way, and that's what I plan on doing the Iron Man. So obviously I'll get to points with my Slayer level where I'll be able to unlock different equipment like the Abyssal Whips and whatnot, and those will be nice, but I have a feeling by the time I get to the whip, I'll already have a weapon that is succeeding the whip, so it really won't be that big of a deal for me, because my idea obviously is to use Barrow's gear to go to God War's Dungeon. By the time I'm 80 stats, I won't be 85 Slayer, I don't believe, and I'll already have gear. Hopefully if I get a God Sword drop, like the hilt, and then obviously make everything with it. I gotta get my smithing up to do that, but that won't be too big of a deal as long as I can get resources for that, which I plan on camping out the resources from God War's Dungeon as well. It's kind of going to be like a God War's Dungeon, what do you call it, stable account. Like, a lot of people do like their own thing where it's like they try to just make themselves self-contained. Obviously that's like what an Iron Man does, but I'm going to try to like use God War's Dungeon as my main supply for most things and see how that goes over. I have a feeling it's going to crash and burn, but we'll see how that goes over a little bit, I suppose. And then obviously in the future I'll get my Royal Crossbow from QBD, and I want to get all the God War's Dungeon sets, and then I'll get all the Barrow sets. That'll be fun. And then I'm going to do a Revenant idea, and then I do plan on getting T90s, so I'll end up doing camping for my Ascension, which I did camp for an Ascension on my main account and did it from scratch, if you guys are unaware of that. That was quite interesting if you didn't see that on Twitch. And also eventually camp for Noxious Weapons. But starting off small, that's getting way ahead of ourselves. Current goals at the moment is to get 75 in attack, strength, defense, get the Slayer level up as well, while in the meantime also doing Barrows runs to attempt to obtain a melee weapon of some sort. And once that melee weapon is obtained, we'll use that melee weapon. I say melee weapon because I'm trying not to jinx myself by getting another crossbow or a wand or something stupid, staff, or just pieces I don't need. And by the time we get that melee weapon, or when we get that melee weapon rather, we'll use that instead of our dual dragon longswords, because we all know dragon longswords are no good. Also, I was camping Revenants a little bit in hopes of maybe getting a piece of like Vesta spear or something. I say spears because they're actually pretty decent two-handed weapons. Because a Vesta spear is actually tier 78, which is better than a God sword, and it's actually really good, although it does degrade. But on an Iron Man it doesn't really matter too much, because oh well, it degrades, it's whatever. If I use it in the right situations, it'll be for the better anyways. So I was actually camping there a little bit earlier, and that's why I want to get my crafting up, so I can get my 4 and 3 bracelets, so I can camp Revenants. That's before my series though. The Revenant series would be to get like all items, but this is way before that. And possibly use those God armor drops I'd get from there, ancient armor drops, to aid me in my quest to get all God War's Dungeon drops. Makes sense, right? Since it's actually better gear and whatever, it makes kind of sense to me. Big plans for my little account, pretty much. But like I said, for the time being, our main goal at the moment is to obtain 75 in attack, strength, defense, and then to get a melee weapon from Barrows. And we're gonna play lava, the floor is lava real quick, or The white tiles of lava. There we go. No, the floor is lava. There we go. On the rug. Stay. Lava. But yeah, that's the plans. That's how the account's shaping up. That's what the account looks like right now. For everybody interested, we are level 87 combat. Questing wise, I haven't done anything. We're just, yeah. We're gonna have to get on some questing too. Maybe we'll start doing some of that. But yeah, that's gonna be a huge thing too, questing, because obviously Godward's Dungeon requires a few quests to be done, and I'd like to get into Prifdonus eventually. And that's all long-term goals. But starting off small, like I said, to repeat myself for one more time. Current goals of the Iron Man account: 75 a tank, 75 a tank, 75 attack, 75 strength, and 75 defense, with whatever skill level that comes with, and 1 melee weapon from Barrows, preferably a Guthan Spear. I don't know. For some reason, I just feel like the Guthan Spear is better than the flail and the freaking whatever else, the hammers and the axe. I just feel like a flail is, I mean, a spear is better. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being weird. But that's the current goals of the situation for the 15th time in a row. But that's going to do it. Sorry, you guys, this video kind of rambled on for way too damn long. I hope you guys did enjoy listening to it, though. Me standing inside my bank for 16 damn minutes. But that's going to do it for this one, though, guys. Thank you all for listening. And maybe next time I'll actually have a real update for you instead of me standing in the bank showing you my stats and whatever else. Also, on my main account, I am camping QBD for the QBD pet, and currently we are sitting at about 30. Well, actually, I don't even know. We're sitting at a lot in terms of GP. No pet yet, but I think we have 2 Visages and a Dekite and a bunch of other royal pieces. Also, speaking of primeval boots, I have been doing my raids, and I have not gotten anything from them. And I just did my raid today, actually before I got on this account, and I got D-Stones, Black D-Hide, and Crystal Keys or something like that. So there's a little update on my main account too. QBD is in action, and this guy is going to Barrows in about 5 minutes. Thank you all for watching, though. That's going to do it for me. Any questions, comments, or questions? Yeah, we're going to do double questions. There you go. Anything else you want to say, post in the comments below. But thank you all for watching, and I'm sorry this went on for way too long, and I'll see you in the next one.